During the pandemic of 2020, I decided to challenge myself and paint every day for the entire year. Through this challenge, I have filled 13 sketchbooks with 366 amazing paintings. In this series of videos, I'm going to show you one by one, starting with the month of January. So, let's start. With this challenge, I had an opportunity to paint everything what I always wanted, and Gollum was one of it. On the 1st of January, I watched one of the Hobbit movies, which gave me the idea to paint this popular character. His unique facial features is something that I wanted to explore and paint with a brush, especially his big blue eyes. This portrait of a grizzly bear was painted mostly from my imagination, without any reference. I spent most of my time on his fur. Bears are one of my favorite animals, and I painted a lot of them in this challenge. So if you like bears, stay tuned. As someone who likes snow and bulldozers, I combined these two elements into one painting. As a kid, I always loved construction vehicles more than cars. The complexity and size of these machines is very interesting to me, so I used this challenge to paint a lot of them that you will see in the upcoming sketchbook tours. This painting shows the beach landings at the Omaha Beach in Normandy during the World War II. I love to read and watch movies and documentaries about it. There are so amazing survival stories that I wish they would turn into movies. One of my favorite movies is Saving Private Ryan, in which they depict the beach landing scene very realistically. Here I painted the skull of a Triceratops. This extinct dinosaur is called that way because of his 3 horns on his head. The skull has some interesting features and details, like the pointy front of his mouth that looks like a beak. Couple months back, a movie came out called Joker, which I really liked, so I had to paint it a couple of times on this challenge. If you watch the movie, then you probably know this scene where he dances on the stairs. This is another reference I found on the web that I liked. Underneath, I put the Joker lettering in yellow and it almost looks like a movie poster. I love the green, red and yellow color combination. Here I painted a close-up look of Joker. This was a scene where he was invited to be a guest on a live TV show. While painting only his portrait this time, I was able to get more into the details and facial expression. As it was still winter, I was in the mood to paint snowscapes. Here I painted a little wooden cabin with a warm light coming from a window, which gives a nice contrast to the cool surroundings of the snow. The next painting is a scene from a movie called Transformers. It's a beautiful shot from one of the characters that I like the most. With the use of paint, I wanted to achieve the glow of the red eyes. On the end, I also used a white gel pen for some of the highlights and details. During the bushfires in Australia, I saw a video of a woman who pours water on a burning koala to save his life. This inspired me to paint this animal sitting next to a tree in a burned down forest. This whole painting was done from my imagination. One day I was riding my bicycle and I saw a crow standing on a stop sign, and I liked the look of it, so I decided to paint it in my sketchbook. Because this was a scene that I saw in real life, I painted it from my memory without a reference. One of the challenges you have to face besides painting every day, it's also painting when you're not home, when you're somewhere else. This is what happened here. So I painted these mandarins from life which were in front of me on the table. Here is a closer look of the crow where I was able to get more into the details, like his eyes and feathers. I didn't know how to do the background, so I played around until I was happy with it. This is the first painting I did without the background, a panda bear eating a bamboo stick. I found it very challenging to paint the fur, but I really enjoyed it. Sometimes you do it at the first try, but sometimes it takes a while to get it right. This has to be one of my favorite extinct animals. I found this reference many years ago on the web and it was the best I saw, so I had to paint it someday. As I said before, I enjoy painting fur and I particularly enjoy the process here. They also found mammoth remains with the included fur, which is very impressive and cool to see. Owls are very mysterious animals. Some of them sleep during the day and they are active at night, and some of them are the opposite. This barn owl has very beautiful dark eyes and a body covered with light feathers. Back then I did not like to paint feathers so much, so I struggled with that. What I like most on this painting are the details where the fur is falling out, which mammals go through during the change of the season. I think this detail is very authentic. I had a chance to see one of these American bisons in real life and I was very impressed how big and beautiful these animals are. I love to paint shiny things that are made from metal, like this Spartan helmet. Adding these highlights and reflections is really fun and satisfying. In general, this helmet looks very cool and I really enjoy the process of painting. Underneath, I also put the Sparta lettering in the same color. This is another painting I had to paint while I was away from home. I remember painting it very late in my hotel room, very tired. You can expect many more wolves in the upcoming sketchbook tours. There are some insects that have an amazing color to it, like this green bottlefly, where the colors transitions from one to another in the sunlight. That is what attracted me to paint it. When I saw a World War I tank for the first time, I was impressed how interesting and different it looks compared to the World War II ones. I think this one looks more intimidating. I love the design, so I had to take the opportunity and paint it in my sketchbook for the challenge. This is another painting where I did not have many problems. I enjoyed the whole process and I finished it very quickly. I love the warm color scheme and I even painted the shadows in a less cooler tone. I like how I got the horse facial characteristics in a short time, because I was in a rush and I didn't have much time. So I decided to paint only a portrait instead of the whole body. At the end, I was happy how it turned out. Moose is the tallest and second largest land animal in North America. This is also a unique and interesting animal to paint. I chose his profile to show his unique facial characteristics. On the 26th of January, Kobe Bryant passed away, so I decided to paint him on the same day. I found this image of him which I really like and I tried to paint him as best as possible. I love the visible brush strokes and rough look that I achieved here in a short time. Back then I used to learn 3D modeling using Blender. I found a beginner tutorial on YouTube where you learn how to make a donut in 3D. So I painted it for this challenge. There's also a short animation of this project on my YouTube channel. The tiger is an extraordinary animal with a unique fur pattern with a camouflage vertical lines. I painted him many times on this challenge, from portraits to full body compositions. Here I painted a close-up look of a Siberian tiger. They have longer fur so they can survive harsh winters. These animals are very rare. I learned that from watching a documentary where it took them 2 years to film this tiger in their natural habitat. Rhino has one of the most interesting skins out there. I like the rough texture and wrinkles. It's really fun to paint them with a brush. With his big horns, Rhino has a beautiful profile. That's why I painted him several times since this one. There are so many different animals, and one of them are apes. Here I painted an angry looking gorilla. While his mouth was open, I had more details to deal with. I really enjoyed painting him, so I really took my time to make it right. You can really see the rough brushwork on his fur, where I played around without thinking too much. You can expect many more ape portraits in the future sketchbook tours. This was just a start of this challenge, a little tease. You will see many more amazing paintings in the upcoming videos. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss them. That way you can support me to make more content. You can also support me on Patreon and buy me a coffee. Let me know in the comments down below what was your favorite painting of the month of January. Thanks for watching, see you next time, bye.